The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to the February 27th, the fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge Show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes, who absolutely knows that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Hey, let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. Now, the easiest way to do that, well, it's to always remember that life is happening for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find the gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Now, today, you and I, we're going to go check on the circumstance of these markets. We'll go figure out what those bulls and bears, what those buyers and sellers are communicating to you and I at just past 11 o'clock in the morning. I do want you to know I'm absolutely grateful for your presence here. But even more important than that, and that's this. During this next 53 minutes, I'm here to service you. So feel free to send me an email. Send me an email at steve@tfnn.com and let me know what request you'd like. And we'll be happy to get those charts up on your screen. Of course, if you're inside our Tiger's Den, well, then any and every ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on fabulous Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Well, we begin our day here with a sea of red. All the U.S. indices are trading to the downside. Dow's off 557 points, a little over 1%, 0.5% for the S&P or 40 points, 0.4 for the NASDAQ. That's 98 points there. Russell's off 46, 1 7/10%. Transport's down 77. Semi's off 92. Gold is up $67. Silver's up $6.30. Light sweet crude about 57 to the upside. Natural gas up 3 pennies, may be putting in a bottom. We'll go take a look at that in a little bit. Our leaders in the clubhouse, dollar-wise, the upside. You got Lumenthum Holdings up $27, Equinix up 24, Dell 23, Applied Optics up 23, and Lennox International 23 as well. To the downside, we're led by Atrium Therapeutics, a $58 move. Well, Booking Holdings is 65. I'm sorry, Booking Holdings is Booking Holdings 65. Atrium is 58. Goldman's down 44. BlackRock's off 42. That's nearly 5% move in Goldman, 4% move in BlackRock. Monolithic Power Systems down 31, 2.5% move. United Rentals off 28. So we got movers and we've got shakers. But let's begin our day by taking a look at what? Well, it's really kind of these two charts. The chart on the very left-hand side of the bottom is a chart of the spot VIX index. You can see price trading in between, rising and falling price trends out there. With prices trading above the 50-day exponential moving average, it provides sellers with an edge out there. If we look at the ES Mini on the right-hand side, you're going to see price trading in between its rising price trend line and its falling price trend line. Kind of a consolidation, right? Yep, that's the message of the markets is a consolidation. We talked about this. If you take a look at, again, the NQ out here, the NQ formed a new profile last week. That profile wrapped around the prior one. That tells us about a consolidation pattern. We've identified that consolidation. The S&P 500 has a consolidation pattern. The Dow yesterday formed a new profile within its prior profile. That's a message of a consolidation pattern. Take a look at the Russell 2000 price just trading with inside its profile. So price found support this morning, the NQ and the ES at the bottom of their profiles at 68.62 and 24.856. And while they were doing that, getting down to levels of support, of course, we went to the intraday charts and found the intraday bottom patterns out there. So that's helpful to us simply from an intraday standpoint, because if those lows get taken out, that tells us that we're headed lower because we've got some solid bottoms. But let's go see here. I got to wait for these charts here to populate. My apology for that. So the first bottom that took place this morning was at 9 o'clock, and it was on the 30-minute time frame chart, and it was a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. It was a bullish hammer candle that formed. It also formed a TD9 count bottom. Did it all at the same time. It completed that pattern on the following bar. Now we've got price that is trading above the 30-minute profile resistance level. So as long as price remains above 24,966, as long as price remains above that, then we're likely to see a move to 25,078, the TD9 count breakdown resistance level. Let me populate the 10-minute time frame chart. This formed a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom here. Let's go see where we are at in the count. This has a TD9 count top. It went ahead and completed right at 11:10. So just less than a minute ago. What we're watching for here now is we're watching to see, does support hold? The support level would be 24,901. That's the bottom of its profile. Or does resistance fail? Resistance failing would be a close above 24,983.50. So that's the NQ. Those are numbers to be watching today. The 10-minute time frame chart, we can see how the 15-minute time frame chart ran into resistance at its breakdown level, 25,007. So clearing that hurdle would also be a positive. You can see on the 60-minute time frame chart a Rhodes momentum indicator bottom signal out there. It's just the bottom row of charts that have those bottom patterns. It's what you would expect and anticipate if there were going to be a bottom attempt as price on the daily time frame gets back to a level of support, which was its daily profile. So that's how all this kind of configures, not kind of, but this is exactly how this all configures together and why we use these multi-time frames, because they help us to tell the story of the market. Now, what I didn't share with you is what's the low of the day, because if we do close below that, we are headed lower, and we'll try to identify where that might be. But the close of the low of the day is 24,782. So if we get below that, then I would say the next move would be to the TD9 count breakout level for the daily time frame. It's been tested a few times out here right now, and it survived each of those tests. That's at 24,616.75. So that's what's going on inside of the NQ. I'll put up the ES mini charts. I was hoping that we would have moved to the ES mini charts as I went through the daily stuff, but I didn't have that set up. So we'll put those ES mini charts up on our screen. We're going to see something similar along the bottom panel of intraday charts out there. We'll see a 30-minute Rhodes momentum indicator bottom pattern. That went ahead and formed at 9 o'clock this morning. We've got a Rhodes momentum indicator, another one that confirmed here. I'm just waiting for this to populate. You can kind of see it. But it also, so it doesn't matter if you get two bottom patterns confirming the same thing. Not as far as I'm concerned. Right now, we're really interested in is what's happening next. Now, we don't have that TD9 count on the 10-minute time frame chart for the ES mini. So it's be the NQ that I would say that would be the driver that you'd be paying attention to with regard to those TD9 count patterns. In the 10-minute time frame chart, what we do have in the ES mini is breakdown resistance at 68.85.50. So close above that, we move up towards 68.94.74. We close above that, we head up to 69.11.25. You can see all I'm doing is just going. It's like a quarterback, right? You're going through your progression steps out here. We take a look at these intraday charts out there. The 2-hour time frame chart, the interesting thing about that is it doesn't have a bottom pattern. However, pulling back to the breakout level of support can, in fact, be a bottom. That's exactly what the 2-hour time frame chart did. It got back to 68.48.75. So that's what's going on from an intraday standpoint. Now, the low of the day, this is also important for you to be watching. That would be at 68.41.50. If we close below that, where are we headed to? Good question. I would have to say 68.28.50, which is the 4 and 5 hour TD9 count breakout levels out there. So that's what's going on with regard to the intraday charts for the ES and the NQ. If we take a look at, maybe I haven't mentioned it to you, I'll mention it right now. What did we do yesterday? That's right. Advanced decline line. New all-time high yesterday. What's that say? That says the likelihood of a 5%, even a 5% correction is pretty minimal over the next couple of weeks. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the Opening Call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. So it's the end of the month. Not literally, tomorrow's the end of the month, but from a trading perspective, today is the end of the month out there. And that means it's TD9 count day for many of the indices, not all of the indices. So let's take a look at them. If you take a look at the Dow Jones on a monthly basis, you'll see that today will become bar number 9. Remember, in those TD9 count patterns, it can be the bar following bar number 9 that makes the high. So that might be sometime in March, but it could start taking place right now. What we haven't seen out there, if you take a look at the Dow on a monthly basis, we have not seen a lower low. We have not closed. We have not even traded below the low of a prior month for quite some time out here. It looks like maybe about 8 months ago that we even just tested a prior low out there. So that'll be your first signal that there's some kind of move to the downside. Of course, price remains above its oscillating change line right now. So the Dow will go ahead and confirm a TD9 count top today. The S&P 500, only if it closes above 68.40.20, will it confirm. We're at 68.73 right now. So it all depends on the day. If we close below 68.40, the TD9 count pattern goes away, but it will confirm a wave number 7. That's that letter G that you see on my screen there. So the S&P 500, even if the TD9 count pattern doesn't form, it will go ahead, unless we get some kind of major rally, it will go ahead and confirm a wave 7 top today. That is the letter G on my screen. The NDX 100, and this is the kind of the interesting thing here. You know, one of the nice things about putting the monthly chart up on our screen is it gets rid of all the noise, because the statement I'm about to make seems pretty gosh darn silly, but I'm going to make it anyways, right? The NASDAQ 100 has been the worst performing index. I mean, it feels like it's getting crushed. Now look at the monthly time frame chart. Can any element of that statement, of that sentence, be even close to accurate? The answer is absolutely, positively not. Not even close. It's been a sideways move. Now, in order for the NDX 100 to generate a TD9 count topping pattern today, price has got to close about 25,858. We're 24,935. So you need one heck of a nice rally going into the close to get a TD9 count top. If we close below 25,858, the monthly TD9 count topping pattern goes away. And what would that message be? To me, that message would be we still could, because of these monthly TD9 count tops, like the one that will confirm in the Russell 2000, in the semiconductor index, in the New York Stock Exchange, they still could take hold. We still could get a 2 to 4 month pullback out there. But what the NDX 100 chart is telling us is that whatever retracement we get, whether is that the move to the upside is not over. Well, let's kind of prove that. Let's not just take a look at the monthly time frame chart, although I do want to close these out because they do hog up a few resources out here. But let's go take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly chart for the NDX 100. No, the one that's totally getting crushed out there until we take a look at the monthly chart and we see, it's just been a little sideways move out there. Nothing much. No, I'm just waiting for the system here to free up so I can get to the next set of charts out there, which would take a look at the daily, the weekly, and the monthly time frame. So here we go. Now, we already covered the monthly, so we don't have to take a look at that. You can see the A to B equals CD pattern that is in play out here. And that gives us an initial price projection of 28,199. The reality is price is traded on the left-hand side of that C to D leg, and typically you do more than a one-to-one price objective move there. So no topping pattern on the monthly time frame is very likely to be the message at 4 p.m. today. Turns out that the weekly chart has that exact same A to B equals CD pattern. You can see the C to D leg out there. So it doesn't have a topping signal. It doesn't have a topping pattern. It hasn't completed an A to B equals CD out there. Just that little sideways move out there. The daily time frame is the only one that's got a topping pattern. That's that TD9 count top. And that's the one that went ahead and confirmed and completed back on October 29th. And that's the important high for the NASDAQ 100. I'll close above that, and then we'd be moving to the upside out there. That high, by the way, and that's nothing we have to worry about today. 26,182 out there. So you've only got one top in the NASDAQ, and that is on the daily time frame. The weekly and the monthly are telling us that the move to the upside is not over, even if we get some type of retracement. Now, we take a look at the NDX 100, the bottom panel of this chart here. You can see that most of the moves to the downside, if you just simply go back to 2022, have been 2 or 3 bar moves. This is going to be bar number 1. We're going to close the month, likely, unless there's some rally, we're going to close the month below last month's close, which was a nice little doji candle out there. So, we could be seeing the start of something. Absolutely. But this is not like the end. And is it going to be anything of significance? No, I don't think so. Not at least the next couple of weeks out here. The odds of a 10%, even a 5% pullback, they're pretty minimal. All right, let me just state it another way. There's a 98% chance that we're not going to see a 5% pullback. Maybe that's an easier way to state that. Okay, so I think enough of the one last thing. Let's go take a look at the equal weighted ETFs out here. And then we'll spend the rest of the day on requests that have come in, assuming that we've got enough requests. But let's take a look at the equal weighted charts out there, because they're the ones that truly point the direction. As we pointed out yesterday, and not that I'm just picking on the Qs or anything, but they did form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom for its daily time frame. The weekly time frame, no bottom pattern. We just have a new profile that's in place out here. 131.58 is support. 136.57 is resistance. So the RSP, it's got a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top with price consolidate. What these charts are telling you, what this is showing you, is that the issue is just in the weighted stocks. Of course, they can pull the indices to the downside, but there's plenty of breath under the covers out there. And the RSP negated its weekly TD9 count top a couple of weeks ago. This is telling us that it wants higher price. The Dow was telling us the same thing for the weekly message. Right now, you can see just consolidations with inside their daily profiles. Okay, that's enough. We're going to go ahead and close this set of charts out. Then we're going to get the first request that came in. This came in kind of late yesterday, which was from Yvonne, I believe, is the one who sent that message in from San Diego. Yeah, it was Yvonne in San Diego. And she wants to take a look at 2 instruments out here. The first one is HOOD. That's traded by folks inside the den. So let's pull its charts up and let's tell you what it's communicating to you. Now, let's start with the daily time frame. The daily time frame, 2 days ago, gap to the upside. Actually, we don't even need to start there. We can start with February 24th. It was a bullish piercing candle that formed. And that bullish piercing candle went ahead and confirmed a Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom pattern. So you got a bottom on the daily with price trading with inside its profile, Yvonne. And that's between the range of 72.25 and 81.33. If you close above 81.33, you're headed higher. What's the likelihood that you're going to close above 81.33? Stevie has no idea. But the weekly chart has an idea, and the weekly chart says, I think that's a really good possibility. Why is that, Steve-O? Well, the weekly chart is completing a TD 9-count bottom pattern today. Now, the nice thing about that is both you've got a weekly and a daily bottom price point that if price closes below that, then that tells you we're headed lower, and headed lower would be back to maybe $18.71. We're trading at 76 right now, and I'll tell you how we get there. But right now, the more likely outcome is that price rallies. And if it can clear 81.33, Yvonne, then it will head up towards its greenhouse and change on the weekly time frame. That's at 104.80. I would say that's going to, I would know that would move up quite a bit. So the next resistance point on the weekly chart, unless another profile forms, would be 107.30. Now, in the monthly time frame is trading below profile support. It's going to close below that today at 79. Well, maybe there's a rally, but 79.34 if we close below that, and that's the only sign of caution out here. But right now, the daily and the weekly for Hood, they are double OD good out there. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Building wealth trading in the stock market seems impossible to most people. They think it's too volatile and risky. Most people aren't going to take the time to educate themselves on how to do it right. But you're not most people, are you? At TFNN, you'll get the guidance you need to refine your strategies and techniques to invest like a pro. Because you'll be a pro. All TFNN subscriptions, books, software, and courses are available at TFNN.com. And I'm even going to tell you how to get them for less. Use TFNN's Tiger Dollars and you'll get up to a 20% bonus on your purchase. And once you apply them to your account, Tiger Dollars are automatically used for all future or recurring charges. Tiger Dollars also never expire, are fully transferable, and are a great way to add savings to your newsletters or services. Become the investor you were born to be at TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
This portion of the Trader's Edge is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Welcome back, folks. We're taking a look at ticker symbol LAR. This is for Yvonne in San Diego. Yvonne, this morning, price pulled back. It's trading with insider's profile. And price pulled back and tested support, as well as its oscillator and change line. They're both at about the same price, which is 766. So that level held. Now, price also tested rejected its TD9 count swing point from back on January 14th. And you need a close above 867 on a daily time frame to negate that signal and suggest that we move higher out there. 880 is the top of its profile, so the sell zone is between 834 and 880 out there. The weekly time frame chart has a sell the D point top, but that just simply took price back to the top of its profile. And we're trading above its green oscillator and change line. So the neutral signal, the weekly signal is neutral. The daily signal is somewhat neutral, more neutral on the weekly because we're trading above profile and the oscillator and change line. Monthly chart, nothing there for us to really take in. So hope that helps you out with regard to LAR, and thanks so much for waiting an extra day. Get those emails in early, if you would, folks. I can't control when the ISPs get them over to me, and so let's take a look at. But if they get over late, I will. I always say take a look at it on the next show that we do out there. So I'll track that. We're taking a look at EEM. This is for GTE out here, and just depends on the candle formation today. You've got a Rhodes momentum indicator signal that's been triggered. If we got a bearish reversal candle right now, it's a shooting star. You'd have a Rhodes momentum indicator top for its daily time frame. That would then suggest that price would pull back towards the 60.80, 61.54 level. That's the center and top of its bearish structured daily profile. And if price closed below 60.80, tells you to move lower would be more than a counter trend move to the downside. I would think that maybe it's just a counter trend move to the downside. And the reason would be because it looks like we're going to negate. Now, I don't know until day's end, but it looks like we may negate the weekly TD9 count top. What you need to see today is a close above last week's high, last week's close, 62.34. So if we close above 62.34 and we're at 62.60, you negate that top. So that's something to keep an eye on. The monthly chart already negated its TD9 count top. It's got that A to B equals CD pattern. It's waiting for a bearish reversal candle to form a sell the D point. So you're bullish on the monthly time frame. At 4 o'clock, you'll know whether you're bullish or not on the weekly time frame, and actually 4 o'clock, you'll know whether you got a bearish reversal candle for the daily time frame. So that's what's going on with EEM. You also had an interest in FXI, so let's pull that up on our screen. See what we've got going on there for this instrument. FXI, a China instrument play out here, trading out at $37.38 right now. There is an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. Let's try to figure out what that price projection is. We'll draw that A to B point, and then we're just simply going to go ahead and copy. Then we'll paste it. And then we'll go ahead and assemble this thing. So the A to B equals CD pattern gives us an initial 1-to-1 price projection. I haven't confirmed whether it's with volume or not. At this stage, I don't really think it matters. 36.57 is that initial price target. Now, the weekly time frame chart, which has a Rhodes momentum indicator top, we are going to close below, or it appears we will close below the bottom of support at 38.28 profile support. So that suggests that we get back to its breakout level. That number's at 36.65. So we got 36.57, and that's that's not even accurate dead to the T. Any chance, and you got 36.65 on the weekly time frame chart. What would stop price from getting down there? Easy. The monthly oscillator and change line. So you've got a TD9 count top on the monthly time frame. So you get a top on the monthly, get a top on the weekly. If I go back far enough, maybe there's a top on the daily too. Not interested right now. TD9 count top that has taken price right back. When I say right back, the oscillator and change line is 37.44. We're trading at 37.38 out there. So if we close below that, the monthly chart tells us we've lost momentum. And that says what we're seeing on the daily and weekly is additional pressure to the downside ought to come to fruition. So GT, hope that helped you out with those instruments. And as always, thanks so much for taking the time to write in. Fletch wants to get in on the game, and he wants to take a look at a lion out there. LION is the ticker symbol. So let's go see what those Detroit Lions are doing out there. I think they're resting, right? It's their time off. Those guys are playing golf and other things. Oh, Lion is having one. It's roaring today. It's roaring to the upside, and it's roaring right into its sell zone, Fletch. And that's between the level of 908 to 942. You close above 942, that would be a beautiful thing out there. Now there's an A to B equals CD pattern on the upside. You can see that went ahead and formed today. You're already at least the 1-to-1 level. So a bearish reversal candle on a daily time frame would generate a sell the D point top. I just mentioned that it's not the pattern that's in play, but it's a pattern that could be in play. So 942 looks to me like a likely price target. The weekly time frame chart has a sell the D point top. Price finding prices trade above its green oscillator and change line. That's the most important thing right now for LION, Fletch, and that says price should go target 948. So we got a 948 target, a 942 target. As you can see, the monthly chart just isn't going to help us. However, it did form a nice bottom. Rhodes meant to indicate about it, but it's really not going to assist us. So, Fletch, I hope that gave the information you were looking for on LION out there, and thanks so much for writing in. John C. would like to take a look at Micron out there. MU is its ticker symbol. So let's go see what Micron is doing, where it is headed to. You got Micron trading out at 413.19 out there, and it's within inside its daily profile. That profile has support, John, at 373.28, and resistance, which it's already tested this morning, at 416.94. The second level of resistance, you can see that has been tested all week long, has been that green oscillator and change line. That's at the 434.81 level. The daily does have a TD9 count top, which has basically led to a sideways consolidation. Nothing really broken here. The weekly time frame. The weekly time frame has a sell the D point top. And that sell the D point top took price right back to its green oscillator and change line. We're also traded inside the sell zone of its weekly profile, which is between the range of 361.98 and 455.50. Ultimate support would be the bottom of that profile, 245.07. But that's not coming into play, not unless you close below that green oscillator and change line, and that's at 394.58. So right now, with price trade above that after forming a top, it's almost neutral. It's really close to neutral. But the monthly for Micron is going to complete a TD9 count top today. Now that says that over time, what Micron should do is pull back towards 247.10. So you do have the daily TD9 count top. You do have the weekly sell the D point top, and you will now have the monthly TD9 count top. So it does make sense to pay attention to Micron out there. If we start closing below 352.04, the daily TD9 count breakout level, that tells us that we've got action to the downside, most certainly. So that's what's going on there. John, I hope that gave the information that you were looking for there. Sat P writes in. Now, Sat was interested in Hood. I gave you the answer on Hood, Sat, right? So we don't have to go through that. And he's looking to add some shares. And we saw those nice bottom signals there. So I think you've got your answer there. But how about on Shopify? What do we have here? You know, Shopify has strangely enough, not too strange though, has a buy the D point bottom pattern. It formed out here on February 4th, believe it or not. That was that bullish hammer candle. And that low is held, that low being 116.40. It's been tested several times, but it is held. We come back for this break. We'll finish looking at Shopify. We'll look at the IWM for Hector and Patty. We'll look at Nike for Dan and any other requests that have come in. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pros pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Welcome back, folks. When we went through, as we were going to that break, we were taking a look at the charts here for Shopify. And as we take a look at Shopify, it's got a buy the D-point bottom pattern for its daily time frame. That's at February 4th low. So that's really important to be watching, monitoring 109.89. Price is traded above the top of its daily profile. And as long as it remains above that, that's at 119.40. Price should rally further. The weekly time frame has a Gartley buy pattern as well. That was formed on last week with that bullish three-river morning star with bullish engulfing candle. Price is traded with inside its profile. It has support at 111.52. Price should rally up towards its sell zone between 137.91 and 144.51. So you got a daily bottom and a weekly bottom. Turns out you love the monthly chart out here. Why? Because the monthly chart had to sell the D-point top. And price this month has pulled back and has found support where counter trend rallies to the downside would find support. And that was the center of its bearish structured monthly profile, 116.36. So the answer to your question, Sat P, is you've got the signals to go ahead and add a few shares. If you get below that daily profile, if you close below that, you could pull back towards a 112.33, 114.78. But you got a daily, a weekly, and you really love the message of the monthly chart for Shopify. Let's go take a look at the IWM. This would be for Hector and Patty. Really want to take a look at the monthly time frame chart. They're interested in the A to B equals CD pattern. So we'll try to identify that. I know that, Hector, you did identify that in your email out here. I've got one already drawn in, so if it's okay with you, we'll just simply go with the A to B equals CD pattern. It's probably the same thing. I see you're starting around 324, so that's the B point I've got at, no, we're not even close to each other. What? Oh, you got a target of 324. Okay, so here's the A to B equals CD pattern. There's several we could draw in here, but the one that I've got, all right, starts off with the low from back in April of 2020. The high out here is the high of November of 2021. And then the next low that it makes after that high takes us back to the October of 2023. The one-to-one price objective. First, let's take a look at the volume. So the swing point November 2021 had 711 million shares. Last month, last month, 777 million shares. So 777 took out 711. That's a confirmed A to B equals CD pattern to the upside. The initial price objective, and it's not dead on balls accurate because I don't have that tool out there, is around 310. You've got 324 to 394. So you may be looking at a different A to B equals CD pattern. Right now, the more important thing, though, Hector and Patty, is the TD9 count, right? You're going to get a confirmed TD9 count top today. And that says, we want to watch the oscillator and change on any retracement out there. And really it says we got to watch the daily, then the weekly time frame to see if we do have any kind of that monthly TD9 count top is going to take place. Now, the weekly time frame today, my apology. The weekly time frame has a wave number 7 top that went ahead and confirmed on January 30th. today could form a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top out there with price below its green oscillator and change line. So what are levels of support to the downside? Daily time frame is 257. Weekly time frame is 248. Monthly time frame is 245 right now. That's at their green oscillator and change line. So, and the other thing out there, and I pointed it out, it's kind of interesting. It's not a top. It doesn't have an A to B equals CD or anything like that, but there is still this island top reversal on the daily time frame for the IWM. It's the most bearish of candlestick patterns that you can get. There still is a little gap. The low of the trading session of January 22nd is 269. I'm sorry, is 269.42. The high of the following section, 269.05. So you got that small little gap out there, small little gap, but that's enough of a gap to create that island top on the daily time frame. I'd feel more comfortable in calling that a significant top if we had an actual pattern that completed, but we don't. You don't have anything out there. You negated a TD9 count top the day before that. Anyways, Hector and Patty, that's what I see when we take a look at the IWM. I hope that helps you out. As always, thanks so much for your request. Dan says, hey, Steve-O, is Nike getting ready to do that monthly A to B equals CD pattern that we both know is hanging out there? Well, let's go find out when we take a look at the charts out there. You got Nike that's trading out right now at $62.24. She's trading with inside her daily profile. It's a bullish structured profile out there. That's got the buy zone between 60.95 and 61.99, resistance being 63.56. Weekly time frame chart. Price is trading with inside its profile, 61.50 up to 69.97. The monthly time frame, which did confirm, so that's already confirmed that monthly A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. So let's go take a look at it. Let's open up this chart here. So the B point is a TD9 count bottom. That TD9 count bottom happened in October of 2022, and the volume on that was 200 million shares. It was passed with 306 million shares. So the A to B equals CD pattern to the downside for Nike gets us to approximately, there's our A to B. Let's copy this thing. First got to grab, there we go. Copy, paste it. Now let's go ahead and assemble this. And again, we're just looking for the highest high after that low. So we've got it. And that gets us down to about 33.67. Dan is asking the question, I think, is it getting ready to resume and move to the downside out there? Dan has got one thing to do on the monthly time frame. That gets below the red oscillator and change line. And that's at 61.13. If it could do that, it increases those odds. We'd be below, 69. So I'd have to say, I gave you a number on the monthly chart, but looking at a daily, you'd really have to close below the bottom of that daily profile as well. It's 60.95 out there. So Nike at this stage of the game, price testing support, the buy zone on the daily and the weekly profile on the weekly chart out there. All right, that sounded like a little double talk. Let's go take a look at NVIDIA. This is for Joe. NVDA. So this popped and dropped yesterday out there. Let's go see what it was popping and dropping and what it was doing. So NVIDIA, as we discussed, the day before the earnings call, closed just slightly above the top of its consolidation. We're going to move the top of that consolidation now. We're going to move up just a tad higher now that we've got that swing point out there. So see if I can do that. So here's a new consolidation inside of NVIDIA out there. Prices trading below. And Joe's question is, what's the next directional? What's NVIDIA telling us is the next direction? The daily time frame with today's close, if today does close below profile support at 182.76, Joe, increase the odds of a move down to the bottom of its consolidation pattern, right around the 172 level. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, which has a Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, price looks like it's going to close below the center of its profile. Now, remember, the center of a profile is where both buyers and sellers believe there's fair value within inside the entire profile. That was between 171.96 and 191.22. So there's an equal number of buyers and sellers there. And right now, that equal number of sellers is putting pressure on the buyers. And if we close below 181.50, odds favor that we make a push lower. 171.96 is the bottom of its profile. Kind of lines up with the weekly consolidation out there. The monthly time frame chart for NVIDIA, Rhodes Momentum Indicator top, price traded with inside its profile. Now, it's found support at its buy zone. So if you're asking what's holding it up, well, it would have to be the 161.51 to 171.64 level. So kind of the daily and weekly say they want lower price, and the monthly says Stevie's out of his mind. Well, I am out of my mind. But that's the best thing I can give you for NVIDIA, Joe. I wish I could give you more. I gave you my best. Steve Rhodes with TFNN. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
Welcome back, folks. Bob in Spokane would like to know what's going on with British Air. BA is a ticker symbol out there. And, if today closes below the low from the trading session of February 3rd out there, that low is at 228.96. It'll trigger an A to B equals CD pattern to the downside. But that's got volume of 7.6 million shares in the first 2.5 hours of trading. We're at 1.3 million shares. That's light in the loafers out there. But nonetheless, we're trading below its breakout level, 228.30. We're trading below that swing point. But so it looks to me like it wants to head lower. There's a likelihood that if it does, that it will form a TD9 count bottom pattern between Monday and Wednesday of next week, and may also form that buy the D point pattern if price gets down towards that price projection by that 1-to-1 is down at about 222.11. This has got a TD9 count top for the daily time frame, a top for the weekly time frame, a top for the monthly time frame. The weekly time frame price is trading inside the buy zone out there. So you've got support between 220.57 and 231.83. On a monthly time frame, what British Airlines is suggesting is that it should pull back towards 208.55 out there. But watch the daily. That's the one right now that could give you the most important signals out there. And Bob, thanks so much for writing in. GT wanted to take a look at the Hang Seng. So let's go ahead and put its charts up on our screen. The Hang Seng closing out the month without any kind of a top out there. So it negated its TD9 count top last month. It is trading into trend line resistance. It did not generate a bearish reversal candle this month. So there's really no top, just simply price running into trend line resistance. Support on a retracement would be at about the 25,123 level. If we look at the weekly time frame chart, we have a confirmed Rhodes momentum indicator top with price below its green oscillator and change line. It's lost momentum, suggests it may retrace further. The daily time frame does not have a bottom pattern, but if price were to close below, because we're testing that swing point, the swing point from February 6th, and that's down at 26,295. You close below that, that'll trigger an A to B equals CD to the downside. Folks, what a wonderful week it's been. I hope you have a fantastic Friday, a wonderful weekend, and I'll look forward to seeing you on Magical Monday. Take care, be safe out there. See you soon.